In this video, I've got some advice to help you keep your goggles fog free. Also, tips on how to take care of your goggles so they last for many snowboard seasons. If your goggles do get fogged up, a secret to defog them, and I usually do this just on the chairlift, is to take them off and then put your goggles inside your jacket underneath your armpit. Do them back up. This will help to warm up your goggles. So usually by the time you get to the top of the chair, they've defogged and now you're going to be clear and see everything for your next lap. So another way to take care of your goggles has to do with whether or not you wear them on the outside of your helmet or on the inside. For me, I prefer to wear my goggles on the inside of my helmet for a few reasons. One is that I feel like it's just like a snugger fit having it on my head. So I've got my balaclava on, beanie, and it's just like a very snug fit on my face. And then I put the helmet over top. And then for me, this combo is just so comfortable. And then if I need to put my goggles up, I just put everything up together. And this way, my goggles are staying dry, being on my forehead, and then I can just slide everything back down and into place. So compared to if you have your goggles outside of your helmet, with them on the outside, now the strap is fully stretched. And to me, if your strap is always stretched like this and also getting wet, this is a way that the strap is gonna wear out faster. And if you wanna put your goggles up, you gotta put them up on top of your helmet where there's likely gonna be some moisture or some snow. Now, when I go to put them back on my face, that wetness from my helmet is now gonna be on the inside foam and also gonna now be on my skin. So that's very uncomfortable. Also, I think that if you're putting your goggles up and they're touching that wet part, the wetness on the foam is gonna actually make the foam on the inside of your goggle wear out quicker. So for me, I like to have it on the inside, then the goggle stays completely dry and the strap isn't stretched out completely. So I think that's a good way to prolong the life of your goggle. How you take care of your goggles at the end of the day is also very important. For me, I always bring my goggles inside and I make sure that I don't keep them inside the case. And I'll just leave them someplace in my house where they can dry out and just let any moisture that may be in the goggle or around it to just evaporate and become completely dry for the next day. You don't want to have your goggles like close to a heating source because the heat can potentially like warp the lens. Just having it someplace where it's like warm but can just like evaporate any moisture will ensure that your goggles aren't going to fog the next day and just make your goggle in general just dry and ready to go the next time you go riding. To keep your goggles just clean and unscratched throughout the day, I also recommend just once you have them on, keeping them on and in place, especially if you're just putting your goggles up onto your forehead. Now the heat from your head is going straight into your goggle and that's pretty much guaranteed that you're gonna fog them up. Even if I'm taking my helmet off, I'm leaving my goggles on. This way they're not gonna get scratched in a bag or in my pocket. Having them on my face for the full day is just gonna keep them in the best shape possible. And if you ever do have to take your goggles off for the day, make sure that you are bringing a soft case with you so that when you do have to take them off, they're just going straight into that case. This way, they're not gonna get scratched because one scratch on the lens kind of ruin a lens. So as soon as you take them off, pop them into the case and then put them someplace where they're not gonna get crushed or potentially just damaged. Also, if you are cleaning your goggles, obviously just still be gentle. You don't wanna put too much pressure or too much force into that. And you also never want to wipe the inside of the lens. If you've got a little bit of dust on the inside, you can give it just like a quick blow, maybe like a dab, but there's an inner coating of anti-fog treatment on the inside of a goggle. And if you are rubbing it too much, then that's when you can rub off that anti-fog protection. Just be very gentle with the inside of your lens. And then as much as possible, just try to keep that clean and free of like dust. One final way to really preserve your goggles is to make sure you get a pair of mitts that have a soft thumb material that if you do get some moisture on your goggles, then you can just take the soft thumb and give them like a quick wipe. So opposed to trying to wipe your goggles with something that is, you know, maybe it has a bit of friction to it or can potentially scratch them, a mitt with a soft material on the thumb is just going to protect your goggles and keep it clean and scratch free. So I hope these tips will help you keep your goggles fresh and clean and working as best they can for the full season. If you guys have any questions, hit me up below in the comments. I'll also put a link to these goggles, the Outdoor Master Falcon. They're actually an Outdoor Master Snowboard Pro Camp collab goggle. So if you want to rep the channel, I'll put a link to them below in the description with the promo code to save you some money. Thank you guys for watching. Be safe out there snowboarding. I'll catch you in the next video.